Thank you for this opportunity to share our Wednesday evening together. It is AfroEconomics time. Make sure you turn your friends on to what really goes down on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. It's about financial empowerment, AfroEconomics, a strategic financial management program designed for the advancement of Black wealth. I am Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer of Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm, and it is one of the first Black-owned, 100% Black-owned registered investment advisory firms on this planet. So thank you for allowing me to be able to make that statement. And I thank God for the opportunity to serve you and empower you. Tonight, we're talking about artificial intelligence. As we sit here in a webinar, and I look at you wonderful people, and I look at this, I see the names, Ms. Witherspoon, Andrea, Mr. Barry, Cynthia, Ms. Jones, Gloria. I can see all of these people who logged in because of the use of artificial intelligence. I would be doing my people a disservice if I didn't take an opportunity to just share this topic with you. Why this happened, how this happened, like how did all of a sudden I come out and I'm like, you know what? I want to talk about Afroeconomics and artificial intelligence. It's because Afroeconomics is about me being in a position to bring to our community empowerment, like something that's actually going to help us. So I'm sitting there and I'm reading an article, and I must tell you that I spend so much of my life reading. Like, it's not books now, you know, not because my book has to be in e-form, because there's so much of us, there's so many of us who use the computers all the time. And the computers are a tool. It's our tool. I mean, it's our work, it's our briefcase. You know, I can actually walk around and do almost everything I need to do for my clients, for my business with just this tool, you know, because of artificial intelligence, because of the use of machine intelligence, because of the use of computers. But it's become like really popular. So I'm reading the article. Let me go back to what I was reading the article. And it was just talking about how the government wants to hire a company to enhance our defense systems using artificial intelligence so that we can do more information gathering on how we develop our weapons, how we strategically come in and, I guess, take over other countries, and how we, you know, go in and do things, how we become more of a threat. So they have this war going on between Microsoft and Amazon, and people in Congress feel that the White House likes Amazon more than they like Microsoft. So that means that I guess there's some people that like Microsoft more. But I think a lot of times we forget that they get us caught up in the drama of the politics, but we don't understand the business, the money that's going on behind the scenes. Like, the information was coming out about, like, everybody, you know, in politics talking about how poor they are, but when they look at the numbers, they're all rich. Most of these people either coming out, they're rich, or going in, they're rich, but they have money. So they're talking about, like, which of these huge companies they want to do their business with. They're not talking about, like, helping out these new businesses that are trying to you know, really develop more things that are building up an entrepreneur, but they're talking about, hey, these mega huge companies, we're going to fight over which one of these are going to get it, because it's going to be either Amazon or Microsoft that's going to get the new government deal on developing the artificial intelligence to take our military systems to the next level. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, I should really talk about artificial intelligence and how it is involved in how artificial intelligence impacts business, in my business, and your business. So I want you to make sure that if you believe like I believe, like I'm definitely, if there was like, if I was on Wall Street and they said like, they would say, hey, here's JB Bryan. She's all into technology. She's a technology-based investment advisor, something like that. They have to put you in a bucket. That would be me. I am definitely a believer, always have been, in technology. Like that is it. My business is run off technology. Like I used to have like a building full of employees. Now I have just computers everywhere I go and very few support people because I don't need it. I need the tools. And we need to realize as a people that we have to position ourselves that I need people that know how to work my tools. So that's where it is. That's our future. I hope you watched the video that I did on CBS this week and was talking about how to outpace the cost of living, how to make sure that you're increasing your wealth. And I said the main way is we have to make sure that we're positioning ourselves in things that are moving forward. Say if I said, well, that Warren Buffett, like, he says like he doesn't like technology. He doesn't get it. I don't know if his position is still there, but the man is really rich without being into technology that he really just never got into it. But he's very close to Bill Gates that's over at Microsoft now. So he's probably changed his position on it and has a better understanding of it. I would argue that I'm not rich enough to not understand the future. I have to spend time understanding the future. I have to understand things that aren't just there in front of me because I feel that from an AfroEconomics perspective, that's where our opportunities lie in us finding out the unexpected, us going and making a lot more effort to learn more about what we might not quickly understand, but understand that. Like, when a person says, oh, well, I don't use cell phones. I mean, if you're a young professional and you don't use your cell phone, then you're basically wasting your time. I don't understand how you take care of business. If you don't use your cell phone, like how are you taking care of things? Especially if you're saying that you got your own business, you're an entrepreneur, and you're not using technology and all of the tools of technology that they have that are available to you. You're not. So artificial intelligence has become a part of everything when we really think about it. And if you want to get a better understanding about what my favorite artificial intelligence stocks are, make sure that we talk about that in our next meeting. You would be amazed at the names that I will give you. So artificial intelligence has become a part of everything. And when I think about it, like even when it comes to our health, like when I go to the gym and I put on this heart rate monitor, and the heart rate monitor connects to a database and it plugs into the system in the gym, and the system goes into a database, and then the database keeps up with how efficiently I am working out and how much time I spent in the range where I should be. Now that's amazing. Years ago, we couldn't do that. And it will tell you, well, you need to be working out harder, or you only did, 10 minutes in your range today. You need to do at least this, or you've reached your goal of how much time you need to spend within your heart rate level. Some people don't even know what that level is. But I'm a numbers person. I like to know what I should be doing, what you should be doing, just like with your money. So artificial intelligence, now I'm just using health as an example, but artificial intelligence in business, it's just rapidly becoming commonplace, commonly used tool to keep yourself competitive and on the cutting edge and moving forward. But in reality, the artificial or mechanical or machine intelligence, it really dates back to the 1950s from what I can see. And now they call it AI because everything is cut off, right? But But, you know, we really need to realize here is like the textbook definition. Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machine. The simulation of human intelligence processes by machines, especially computer systems. So it's saying computer systems trying to have the intelligence or have it or simulating or mocking or repeating or being similar to human intelligence and getting in a computer. These processes include learning, which is the acquisition of information and rules for using that information, reasoning, using rules to reach approximate and definite conclusions, and self-correction. It's all part of the artificial intelligence. It has to like be able to correct itself or find its own errors. That's what you want to have. But when you really think about it, it's about the information that we put in there. Because it said the process includes learning. So and that learning is the acquisition of information and the rules for using that information. So when I'm using computer or artificial intelligence in my practice, it's about me acquiring the information so that I can put that in there, right? So that the information can be used properly. But I have to acquire the information first. So we can think, well, wow, these are gonna like replace people. But no, there's no machine, in my opinion, that can acquire information more efficiently and get more information than I can as a person who cares. So our credit score is an example because it's a result of artificial intelligence. Like they're taking the data that we place in our activities, our bill paying activities, all that data is put in there and it determines, and then the algorithm for the credit bureau determines the number that comes out is based on the guidelines developed by the credit reporting agency algorithm. Now, I wrote that myself. But the bottom line is our credit score is determined by artificial intelligence, and you just never really thought about it. You know, have you ever like really thought about like, how you doing, Ms. Jones? Thank you all so much. Like we had like 100% participation tonight. So let's look at just some examples of like artificial intelligence in education, online classes, homeschooling, the tests that are developed. Like my daughter has this thing that she uses sometimes called Quizlet, you know, and the Quizlet, you tell the topic and it will give you questions from their database to make up quizzes for you. And you go through and you do the quizzes and you answer, but that's artificial intelligence. You chose a topic, it searches in all of the information that it has, and then it makes that quiz for you. You know, there's even the artificial intelligence of just reading the information out of the textbook and then having a computer voice applied to that textbook. Amazing. Artificial intelligence, and as a licensed insurance person for so long, it is amazing how much artificial intelligence is now involved in insurance. Just not to even think about, like, since the beginning of time, your credit score, and I shouldn't say the beginning of time because it was a time where you didn't have to worry about the credit score, either in buying your insurance. But since I can remember, credit scores were involved in your car, you know, but now your car insurance, but now, and your homeowner's insurance too. I have seen people who back in the day when you could get a mortgage, when anybody could get a mortgage, they got a mortgage for their house and they came to me searching because they could not find any homeowner's insurance. I was like, are you sure you're ready to be buying this house? That's how crazy the mortgage industry was. Though these people were whack. They couldn't even come up with like $400 between them. You know, $400. And I was like, well, here's a company that will do it, but you're going to have to put a down payment. Of course, they're like, oh my goodness, that is sad, but this is true. The credit does impact. So because of the artificial intelligence, when we're buying things, and then they're involving all of the information that they have on you now in the insurance purchase, your life insurance. They have all of this information on you. Life insurance now looks at your driving record to determine your mortality likelihood, and they adjust your premium or turn you down. Connected to the data that's coming in. We have to be careful. Now with this organized healthcare system, they know everything. You don't even really need to put down who your doctor is anymore because it's already in there. They know what meds you're taking. They know everything in you because of that artificial. They shouldn't even tell it. It's real intelligence. That AI is all up on you. So they use it in artificial intelligence, especially with Google. I was watching a movie the other night, and they solved a crime because of the Google app on the person's phone showed that they were at the scene of the crime. So that's what connected them, and that's what put them in jail. That was it. Only they kept searching. They could not figure out how they were going to connect it to them. And they did somehow. Somebody said, let's check Google. And it had that they had been in that area. Amazing. So also, how about artificial intelligence in dating? In the dating apps and matching people and the things that you have in common with that person and finding you matches. That's how Match.com can do that, because they have the intent. Well, you have what you put in there. You said, I like to play tennis. So they find people that like to play tennis, and they're connecting you to the people that like to play tennis. Let's throw a couple basketball players in there too. That they can do that. But that's also how the artificial intelligence, where you're getting all of these advertisements. You did a search for, sandals, and now you're getting all of these ads for different sandals from different stores because you did that search. But I'm telling you, it feels like sometimes they hear what you're saying. Like you said the word sandals and they're searching. So I Googled and I said, can they hear what you said? And they were saying that if you have your phone set on voice, that they can hear some of the words that you're saying. And that can happen. So the use of technology in wealth management, not to even mention what I was saying about in the insurance industry, in the insurance part of your wealth management, but also in the financial planning process of it. When I started in this business, when we wanted to do a financial plan, it was 1,000. I was like, okay, hi, Miss Smith. And we have all of this stack of papers and we fill it in and it just be just elaborate. Now, when you do your financial plan with me, all I do is send you a link and I go put this data in, and we get this data in, and then the data is in, and then all of the artificial intelligence moves everything around, and it says you have enough to retire at 65, or it tells me, no, you're kidding yourself. At this rate, you need to retire at 90. No, it tells us, you're not. It'll say red light, no, you're not going to reach that goal, or green light, yes, you're good to go. You can retire at 100 years old at this rate of saving. But it will definitely, artificial intelligence now allows me to do things that I could not do, to allow me to help you. And then we can go back and we can capture that, make a report, freeze that in time, and then come back, update that every 6 months, every 3 months. You can update it every week. As long as you remember, you can go in there and just update your information as much as you want. Every time you get an end of a quarter, we do our quarterly meeting, we should put the new data in. If you have you can also link the accounts directly. You're talking about artificial intelligence Now, if you wanted me to be able to pull in every asset that you have at all these different places by a click of a button, I can have all of that in your financial plan, and it will automatically update down to your checking account. It's amazing. Y'all ain't ready. Like, JB, I ain't connecting all of that. But if you want to have that type of up-to-date, comprehensive look at that, just know that in AfroEconomics, you have that capacity. We have that capacity. Because as a group, I am using every resource I have to make sure that we have access to technology. That's what it's about. I believe that everything that we do as a member, that it should be every dollar of membership, should be swiped up in the first day that you're just like, I can't even know how she affords to do all this, because of the risk analysis and the financial planning software. That's some expensive stuff. But if we invest our money correctly, that's how I invest the money for the firm. That's what I do. So then we have investment analysis software that I use to develop my portfolios. And I was going to show you, just to give you an example, because I know for compliance purposes, like I can show you one-on-one, but I can't show you a lot of stuff. So I have to be careful because I'm regulated. People that don't have licenses, they don't have to worry about all this stuff that I have to worry about. So I'm just going to show you this example, that this is my AfroEconomics growth portfolio. And this just shows that this yellow line is the principal investment, of showing how this 100,000 from 2012 to 2019, it's more than doubled. And then this is where it is up here. This is the money that came from dividend income. This red gap, this is from capital gains, and how the money went from 2012 to 2019, 100,000 grew to over 225,000. Yeah, because that's how I do. But that's just an example of how I'm able to use artificial intelligence to go back and show you how that actual historical performance, it puts it all together. It shows the standard deviation. It shows you our average annual return. It shows you how it compares to the benchmarks of the portfolio. It puts together the most comparable benchmark, so that I'm comparing apples to apples, not a stock portfolio to a bond benchmark, so that it will look like it's just doing extremely well. Like, you have to make sure if you're comparing apples to apples. And so it's about also that's where it is, that it's about, like, you have these artificial intelligence that's putting together these numbers for us, but we have to analyze those numbers. You got to know what you're doing. It's kind of like when you use artificial intelligence to prepare your own tax return, but you don't understand tax strategy. That's why I like for us to sit down and look at our tax returns, so that we can use the technology to help us, just like with my investment portfolio, but we have to understand what's in it. What is it compared to? How is it? What is the risk score? So then let's look at risk analysis. So also artificial intelligence helps me with my risk analysis, because back in the day, it would be like, okay, your risk score is a 5 out of 10, and we would do it based on some questionnaire, and you get 1 point for this question, 2 points for this, and this point, and blah, blah, blah. And you go, oh, you're a moderate investor. Now, my artificial intelligence software allows me to ask you several questions. You determine based on real numbers what your risk level is. If you see your 100,000 dip by 20%, are you going to go crazy? And then you see in the picture it going down, and you go, yes, I'm going to go crazy. Then you really know, versus some questionnaire just says, would you be sad if your money went down by 10%? You know what I'm saying? You ain't really see it. Well, when you see it in my risk analysis software and you see that money go down, I know what you made of. I know what you can handle. I can look at your face, you know, and tell. But then you get your risk score. Then I can get your portfolio, put that information of what you actually have up against your actual risk score. Every investment out there has a risk score of itself. Put it all together. The artificial intelligence puts all the numbers, does all the number work, and it says you have a risk score of 55. Your portfolio is a 95. Do you realize the disparity? Then I can help you reallocate and get you back in alignment with where you really need to be, where you're saying that you want to be. Or it could be opposite. I see the opposite a lot. Your risk score is a 95, meaning you have a true desire for long-term growth, say, and your portfolio is a 25, and you're chilling in, you know, I don't know, CDs or something. You're like, you're totally not what you said what your risk score suggests or what your goals suggest, because the risk analysis artificial intelligence brings in your age, how much time between you and retirement, what your goals are. All of that is taken into consideration in that algorithm, and it helps me so much. This is real. I hope y'all can feel me on this. Y'all made some comments. Oh, wow. Ms. Witherspoon, you said, oh my God, yes, they are saying what we say. Too many times I've seen these ads pop up after I say a certain conversation. That's right. I was like going. You made a comment. Yes, it's real. It's real. Dr. Williams said, do you know of a recommendation, could you recommend an application that detects cyclical stock behavior so we know when to buy and sell stocks? I'm trying to get paid. That's right. That's why you need to talk to me more often. Yo, I think that, and that's a very good point, because that's where I wanted to, I want to lead, that I have on here. Can artificial intelligence and app replace the financial advisor? That I believe that the technology can replace the transactional part. I believe that it can help us pull together the information, which it does, but the app cannot be a partner in understanding what your true risk tolerance is, your true understanding you and what you're trying to develop overall for yourself, for your family. And artificial intelligence helps me discover options. So the client says, I want some cyclical stocks. I want some stocks that have good growth potential, you know, because every stock is cyclical. So what we're saying is that we want to have something that is progressive. I have to find out how much time do you have, because stocks are long-term investments. So if a person's trying to make money quick, they don't need to be in the stock market. In reality, it works sometimes, but generally it doesn't. So when we're talking about wealth development, it's focused on, I have to tell you smart things to do. Like if a person said, well, I have $10,000 and I want to double my money really quick. And then I would say, well, do you have any debt? And then they said, yeah, I got this credit card debt with an 18% interest on it. You know, so I might be like, well, just go ahead and pay that off, because that is the only thing I know that in 6 months, you're definitely going to be glad that you did, you know, but it's, you know, but in general, that we have to have where it's like, I understand that stocks have, that do have the potential to outpace inflation and give me long-term growth potential if I pick the right company. But as far as a short-term investment, as an investment advisor, it would be bad advice to say like, oh, you know, stocks are your best option for, you know, quick money. No, stocks are for people who have a long-term time horizon and have a desire to outpace inflation, because historically, it's no guarantee of the future, but historically, stock market overall, using the S&P 500 as an indicator, have outpaced the cost of living very well and have done better than most other investments. So, but I feel that artificial intelligence, can it replace all of my years grinding and tell you exactly what's best for you? No. Does it have any legal responsibility to you to protect you? No. You know, you sign up, you write up, and you get into that app, and they say, we are not responsible for anything that we say. Everything that comes out of this mouth, I am responsible for, because I am a licensed investment advisor. So artificial intelligence can help me, but can it replace your need and desire and the fact that you deserve to have somebody responsible for you? You deserve that. It can't replace that. It can't. But there is a movement away because nobody wants to be responsible for you. So I might be I'll be the last Black woman standing that says, I will take responsibility for you. I will help you. I will do this. Because you see that. I mean, there is a movement away. Everybody wants to have like this app, so that app, and AfroEconomics has an app, but it is an app to serve you more, to get you as a member, to be a member that gets advice, a member that gets a relationship, a member that gets the empowerment of artificial intelligence, but gets real intelligence to help you do things that specifically are better for you. Not something just better for the advertiser that's supporting this app, or the advertiser that came up with this app, or the people that are pushing us on this. You know, behind so many things that I see, especially when they're pushing, you know, a particular company, you have to be very, very careful on why are you choosing this company over this company? Like, what is behind it? And, you know, so I have to be like, on your disclosure forms with me, I have to disclose like any conflicts of interest. You're signing up for an app that says we are not financial advisors, you know, move forward at your own risk. You know, you're going into a platform and you're just trading things, and they're saying, these are ideas. Where did these ideas come from? Follow the money. So definitely artificial intelligence can help me, does help me. Mr. Williams, Dr. Williams, you're the best. He said, we would never try to replace you. Yes, you are. No, you are intelligent. You're not artificial. Thank you. No. But that was a very good point, because there are so many people that told me about like different apps that they're like buying stocks on the app and everything. And before I would suggest anything I like that I feel like you need to make sure and that, and most of you are, but when I hear but there are many people that aren't. They're not maximizing at work, and they're leaving money on the table. Definitely. You did. Oh, that's so good. Thank you, Mr. Walton. Yes, indeed. So definitely many people are not maximizing stuff. They're leaving stuff on the table, and we can use artificial intelligence to help you actually maximize the benefits at your work plan. That's like my first thing with members, is to make sure that we maximize what you're doing already before we start worrying about, you know, other stuff. Because there's so much money, billions, that get left on the table. And then people that just work for 30 years, and then at the end of their career, they meet me, and then I look at it and I go, wow, I wish I had met them before, because I would have allocated this, I would have given this suggestion. on how to allocate. So don't feel like you go, well, I don't have any money to invest with her right now, so I'm not going to join. No, you have to join while you don't have any money so that you will have money. That's the point of the membership, that to develop the relationship with you at a time not of crisis. But, where too many of us meet each other where it's like, I don't know what to do with this money, or someone just died or something like this. We have to get the emotion out of it so that we can maximize the tools and develop our wealth over time in a great, positive, calm setting, right? Where everything is, where you're under control, where you're not a victim of anything, or you're not going out there asking anybody for help, or just, but you're developing a relationship over time. You really get to know who I am. And that's the benefit of doing a small investment in yourself and learning how am I maximizing what I did, or I left that job and I left that old money behind. I need to make sure that in my next meeting with JB, we talk about that old 401k that I left at that old job and how it needs to be allocated at that job, or roll it over to a new IRA for you. But in every transaction, take it more seriously. Take yourself really seriously, because it does make a difference how we do things. Like I was doing some continuing ed today, and I was just working on different situations of estate issues and taxation on different estate issues. And does that couple need a trust, and do they not need a trust, and things like that. Like I am constantly going through scenarios and putting myself in positions and reading so that I can help you through these things. So don't get to a situation and think like, I'm not going to ask JB about that, or why is this, or even if it's something like your car insurance went up, or your homeowner's insurance keeps going up, or whatever it is, you need to run that by your licensed professional. Remember, I have licenses and all of this stuff. I do this a long time. So let's make sure that you know that you have that resource available. I'm here to serve you. So when we have our meetings, we talk about that. We go through those things. Bring everything. Tax returns, insurance policies, your car, home, life, everything that we need to consolidate it, scan it in, and get it and send it to me in advance. But let's prepare. Take yourself really seriously, because nobody really takes us seriously. And that's why AfroEconomics to me is very important, because the majority community really does not understand how much they don't take us seriously. And they don't know, because of the stereotypes that have been developed. No matter how rich you are, like I have millionaires, y'all in here with me right now, and they don't know that you're a millionaire, because they're only basing us on the stereotypes of what they've seen. So they just think, that I always feel that way, that when they give me that nappy head black girl look, and I know it's just something they've been pre-programmed, but I have to pull myself through that and realize I don't care if you don't take me seriously. I got to take me seriously. You got to take you seriously. And we got to teach our kids to take themselves and their future and their dreams seriously. Your money, I take it seriously. You deserve more than just artificial intelligence. You deserve the use of artificial intelligence and some great application of some serious mind time. Like we got to sit down and work it through. So that's my sermon. Thank y'all for your time tonight. Remember, we need to schedule a meeting. Remember, we have our members only on Friday morning at 9. And remember to share this. I'm going to post it on the YouTube channel. Share it with your friends. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Ms. Witherspoon. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Please make sure that we meet really soon. I'm gonna ask Chelsea, Delia, ask Chelsea, make sure she calls on Mr. Lewis and gets that set up, as well as Mr. Walton. Y'all, need to make sure that you help me help you. Yeah, Gloria, talk to you soon. How you doing? How are you, Mr. Robinson? I'm so glad you're here. Definitely. Good night, Maurice. Very informative tonight. Well, thank you. I'm glad you approve. I'm glad you got back in 8 minutes too. Thank you. How you doing, Ronald? Good to see you. I think that's Val Ron right there, going by your government name tonight. Tell Valencia I said hi as well. Yes. God bless y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye now. Uh-oh. Appreciate y'all. Good night.